Welcome back, friend. Today's conversation is the Sacral Center, which in the BG5 or the business terminology we call the energy resource function. And what we're selling here is we are selling stop and quitting. So let me just put out an alert. If you are a projector / advisor, if you are a manifester / innovator, this is today's topic that is going to be quite profound for you. So the material way, what happens is that when we are correct, the goal in all of this is that we attract money correctly. Now, we are attracting money through satisfaction and responding as builders. We are attracting money through success, that recognition and invitation. We are attracting money through peace, through that informing. We are attracting money through that awe, which is waiting for the right initiation into an environment. Okay. The importance is that we always, no matter what I provide to you in all of these videos and in all of my coaching, is that strategy and authority have to be your guide. The not self is going to try to give you all kinds of excuses as to why or why not. It will reason you to death. Why this is right, why this isn't right, blah, blah, blah. The focus has to be on these 4 sensations that happen in the body. Because if money becomes your focus, there is no amount of money that will ever bring you these feelings. It has to start with alignment to your design, and then the attraction process happens. Making more money will never be satisfying. Being satisfied while making money is a completely different story. Or, insert the word success, peace, awe into that. What you're going to learn is that you're going to learn how you naturally sell, how you naturally influence. And you can also see how you are sold as well. So any of the openness in your design, any of it, any of the channels, the gates, the centers, all of this becomes the doorway for your clients to get in, and it is also the doorway for you to get out. This is how you gain wisdom. You are always going to be sold on the exact same thing that you are eventually going to sell because you needed to gain wisdom about it. Okay? So we look at this and we go, well, Leann, this is totally counterintuitive to anything we know about human design. The not self is where we make money. Okay? Why? Because this is where we're supposed to learn. This is where we are designed to gain our wisdom. Again, the material way, the material world is a third line process. If you have third lines in your design, you will know this greatly. Because the third line is at the heart of everything that it is to be making money or materially successful. The third line is a trial and error process. This is where you gain great wisdom. That trial and error process, making mistakes, embracing that failure is so yummy. Let me tell you, I am, on the cusp of my 41st or 45th birthday. And the things that I have learned and the mistakes that I have made and how much that has cost me in my life is great. However, what I do is I get to bring it to people so that they know the mistakes. They can understand, so that adapting, pivoting, innovating, being creative, that can all emerge out of the third line. The martyr, the anarchist, breaking things down, making, the old, letting somebody else come in with that new innovation. And capitalism, why do I keep bringing this up? Capitalism is changing. Capitalism is totally changing. This is not about an outside piece of paper that says that it has $100 on it and that's your value. The value that is you is your frequency that you have housed inside of your meat suit. Capitalism is adjusting. It's changing. It is not about handing your value over to an outside force. This is about recognizing your intrinsic value. Okay. So let's just, give a quick look at the sacral center. So, again, it's a motor. This creates that open and enveloping aura. If you have this red square in your design, what it tells me immediately is that you're either a generator or a manifesting generator. You're here to build. You're here to work. You're here to generate. We live in a generator world. 70% of the population are generators. Now I put slaves right here. We become slaves to the mental plane. Happens way too often. To the conditioning plane. This is where our reproductive organs are. This is where the tribe makes money and nourishes them more. We're here to work. We're here to build through that pure satisfaction. Why am I bringing you understanding this? So that you can understand it, what the essence of it is, so that you know exactly when you're selling to anybody on the planet, especially our projectors and our manifestors are going to be able to make a ton of money here. That you understand this center inside and out so that you can make money. This center wants to be satisfied. And the only way it can be satisfied is if people are requesting its energy. And then it is responding through that gut response. Some of the generators or manifesting generators may need to have clarity, but it is that gut response. It is that energy resource that is saying, yes, I have the energy. No, I do not. I can build or I can't build. Or if you have the solar plex as your inner authority, you're just saying, listen, I need time. I need time to know and to come to emotional intelligence whether or not using my energy on this is correct or not. Okay? The transcendence that happens through the sacral center. The sacral touches all of the different aspects of circuitry, and it holds this inner column up so that we can transcend. Okay? Now, exactly what is so dang important is that it does not matter how hard you work. Manifestation doesn't happen here. The building, the form principle that we talked about in the quarters, this is not a sacral driven thing. The second quarter is not sacral driven. I don't give a rat's patootie how hard you work. Has nothing to do with manifestation. Go to any business college, go to any business training online right now, and guess what they're going to tell you? You need to work harder, you need to work harder, you need to work harder to manifest. Totally, completely incorrect. Totally, completely incorrect. Doesn't matter how hard you work, there is no connection to manifestation. Now, can you connect it up? Yes. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just giving you what the mechanics are saying here. So clearly, when we look at the mandala of each center and we walk through the information that is there in the mechanics, the story comes together. In the quarters of the wheel, that video that I put up for you so that you understand how your purpose is to be fulfilled, the throat center is the heart of the metamorphosis, always. And that comes from the second quarter. This is where form is created, and that is created in the throat center, not in the sacral center. So it doesn't matter how hard you work. It isn't about that. So what the sacral center does is it says, listen, consciousness is brought through growth, maturing. That's what the 42 is all about, maturing. It's about growth. It's coming to self-actualization. It comes through the order, so taking the limitation of the body graph, of the frequency from the 60, and it is ordering it. Really what it's doing is ordering it to that strategy and authority, bringing it to that surface, and then nourishing the physical body, nourishing our consciousness, nourishing our consciousness field. Okay? And why did I say physical body? Well, because we're in a human meat suit. So that's why I said that. But really it's about nourishing our consciousness, recognizing that we are this frequency in this material body. Now, it also brings to us duality. So how do we measure ourselves against others? How do we bond with others? It's through commitment and achieving union. And it also brings us transformation. Transformation, possession in great measure. What do you mean possession in great measure? This is really about, the 14 is largely, you're gonna recognize this when we break this all down. The 14 is largely about the wheelbarrow, or the wagon, the wagon that is full. So when we are full, when we are fulfilled, we can transform. And I talked about that when I talked about the quarters. You know, when a life is from a place of fulfillment, death is not an issue. The 34 is that personal power. How can we stand in our personal power? The sacral center is saying, listen, we can transform by doing that. And the taming power of the small of the 9. We can transform by recognizing that the details of the pattern can bring us to transcendence. Also, the 5 is all about waiting. And the 515, that's the cell. That's the minutiae of our world. So the 5 is saying, listen, just wait. Wait, align yourself and wait. Wait for your own fixed rhythm. Move into the flow of life. And when you can do that, all of a sudden you have the personal power. You're fulfilled. You come to a place of self-actualization. You can achieve union with others and yourself. You can make the commitment to discover your own correct order. So again, keynoting, just playing around with it. The sacral center has nothing to do with manifestation. Now, you're going to say, well, Leann, you said that the only way we can manifest is having a motor connected to the throat. Yes, that is totally correct. But the focus of that sacral center is not manifestation. It's not metamorphosis. It is consciousness, it's duality, and it is transformation. So the unhealthy state, when we look at the sacral center, if it's defined and it's unhealthy, it's filled with frustration. It initiates rather than responds, and it doesn't enjoy its work. But the natural, healthy state enjoys what it's doing. It loves working. It loves, doing and moving through that doing. So one of the coaching calls, I indicated that is, if you guys can't remember my design, I've placed it in the welcome package and introducing myself. I have a totally open head, totally open ajna, totally open G center. I have the channel of maturation from the 53 to the 42. I have the 34 up to the 20. And then I have the 2145 channel of charisma, management / money, and maturation or cycles. With that energy field, my physical body, and the conversation that I was having in the coaching call was this: it just moves. It just moves. The thought process that takes place there is almost non-existent. And what I notice is that my physical body will be moving, and all of a sudden I will hear myself say to myself, "Hey self, I guess I'm doing this now." Just moves. It just moves and responds. And there's, even though charisma, the tagline there is thoughts must become deeds, most of the time it's just happening, and then the thought process is there. I guess I'm doing this now. It's so yummy. And when I can just watch it, it's so much fun to just watch it. The undefined. So this is the juice of this, okay? This is where you're going to sell. So this is our projectors, this is our manifestors, and this is our reflectors. Now, why didn't I focus on reflectors at the very start of this video? Well, it's because reflectors have many options. But it really is our projectors that need to really understand this information. So, understand that the sacral center is the vortex that is sucking everybody in this world. 70% of us. And what can happen is that projectors get sucked in and they want to go, 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 go. They feel guilty that they can't keep up. They keep doing more things. And the wisdom here, when you can drop into your own strategy and authority, recognize the healthy boundaries, know when enough is enough, and that you can relax and let people like myself, this manifesting generator that is designed to build, that is designed to work. This little body does a lot in a day. So it is for you, that projector, manifestor, reflector. Know the wisdom of this center. Watch it. Witness it in the world. Do not be it. Do not get sucked into the vortex of it. You're here as a guide, those advisors or projectors. You're here to initiate this building process that happens through the sacral center. You're here to evaluate it. You're not here to do the doing. So in order for you to be wise and get out of there and drop into the profound wisdom of this center and be able to make money here, you cannot try to be it. You have to watch it. Okay? So when it's totally open, don't know what to use your energy for, get exhausted easily, and like Ra, the wisdom is truly measure the life force and what the energy is really for. That's what you get to do. So, what are you selling here? So, I'm also selling this. I'm selling this, but this isn't my big money maker. This isn't my big money maker, but I'm also selling this. I'm selling like stop and quitting. But I'm more so, quote unquote, delivering it through my design because it's defined in me. If you don't have it in your design, you're really selling this. You're encouraging people like myself, stop using that energy resource in an unhealthy way. Quit being a slave. Quit living your life for other people and generate correctly. What I am delivering is the understanding of what it is to have this and utilize it. Most of the time I utilize it healthy. You know, there's lots of things that I'm not perfect about. And I know that there's times where I'm in complete frustration. And I can recognize both of those and I can watch it. But for non-builders, people that have this undefined, Stop. Stop taking this energy and trying to be this energy. Utilize the sacral energy correctly. Quit trying to be it. Okay? So here's your breakdown. I do this for you so that you can recognize, okay. So the 34, let's start there. Personal power. Quit being selfish. Selling. Use your power for the common good. Okay. I have the 34-20. I get very, very caught up in being me and doing me. Very caught up in it. And then, all of a sudden, somebody will request my energy and request a YouTube video or request a coaching session. I can use my power for the common good. The 5, that should say fixed, not riced rhythm. That is hilarious. Fixed rhythm. Quit being compulsive. A cell being in the flow. If we're trying to paddle against the stream, it's very, very, very frustrating, very exhausting, can get very overwhelming. You get to say, quit being compulsive. Listen to your strategy. Listen to your authority. Be in the flow. Watch what's coming to you. The 14, power skills, quit doing it for the money. Selling being of service. 29 says that gate of saying yes. Quit saying yes. Selling in action. The 59 is achieving union. This is about quit being distant. This is selling personal connections. The 9 is that focus. Quit overlooking the details. Selling attention to detail. 3, this order. Quit the old and you get to sell the new. 42 is this growth, that self-actualization. Quit trying to be perfect. Selling trial and error. 27 is nourishment. Quit being irresponsible. Selling being educated. So let's look at the number 9. Quit overlooking the details. Selling attention to details. The 3rd line says, listen, this trial and error aspect, the straw that breaks the camel's back. If we're not paying attention to the details, if we're not looking towards the future and taking a deep, hard look at the details, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to get to the future. So to sell material growth, you have to focus in on the details. This is a logical step-by-step process of getting to the identification and being able to be an influence. So making mistakes and correcting those mistakes. The illogical of mistakes brings a new level of certainty to the process of making money. The straw that breaks the camel's back will be the detail that was overlooked. Transcendence happens in the concentrative process. We can transcend the mistakes by concentrating on the detail. Mistakes are going to happen, but logical people beat themselves up so greatly because they've made a mistake. And logic wants perfection. Logic wants perfection. So things that you can be selling. You can be selling how to align to your design. So maybe you're a coach and you're coaching other people. How to align to your design. Website SEO. Those tiny little details get you noticed. Identity protection. Let's be really focused in on the detail. And let's, protect your identity by being very, very cautious and knowing those details. Don't click onto websites that aren't good for you. And if you are doing risky things, I protect your identity. Inspectors, looking at the little details. Risk management, oversight process. creating a process for correcting those details. I have this as part of my design. And here's what I've recognized, okay? I move fairly quickly. So sometimes, like details for, like as you can see, I make a ton of errors here on when I'm typing and when I'm doing this stuff. I make errors because I'm moving so quickly. And I also have, I think, 6 third lines in my design. So it's important for me to slow down and pay attention to those details. But that's not my big money maker. I'm not making money. I'm delivering that to you, but I'm not making money off of it. So I actually have a few people, that now have been brought in so that they can do the oversight for me. Not particularly here with these slides right now, but as an overarching in my business. But focus is a big thing. Being able to look at those details. And what I've also recognized about myself is that I see the details in the human interaction versus the paperwork aspect of things. So here's an example. My son is in the 29th gate. My fulfillment of my purpose comes through duality and bonding with others. So what I've noticed is that this focus that I have in this 9th gate is actually about, it's about people focus. I watch the details of other people. I'm a people watcher. I watch their details. I watch their body language. I pay attention to those kind of things. I see them in the environment. I see them in different environments. That's really how I recognize this shows up for me. So I'm not making money per se off of it. I'm delivering those aspects. So I will, indicate to someone, watch the body language. You guys have heard me talk about this in different videos. Pay attention to the tone of the voice. For our projectors, pay attention to the invitation and the recognition. Pay attention to those little details. I say pay attention a lot. But for me, it isn't paying attention to the paperwork aspect. It's about paying attention to the person. Where's their integrity level? Paying attention to that aspect is so important for me. Okay? So if you have this, that's what you're selling. You get to sell that attention to detail. So maybe it is maybe you work online and you work with coaches and you fine-tune and you refine their presentations like this. Okay? So the 5 is this fixed rhythm. Quit being compulsive. Selling being in the flow. So humans are always trying to swim against the current of the cosmic flow. We are just doing that. There are natural patterns. There are cosmic patterns that are guiding the building process of the Maya. When the generators of our planet can just relax into waiting for the response of the builder, energy, resource. The frequency of the planet changes. So stop pushing against the current. The fear of missing out and not doing enough is a disease for everybody. This can get very compulsive. So you're being taught, quit being compulsive. Wait. Quit initiating. Wait. Be in the flow. Who's requesting your energy? Pretty much my whole YouTube channel, all of the videos on my YouTube channel and this particular course has happened because people have requested it. And I can just be in the flow of that. So most of what is created is not necessary for a good life. The projectors are teaching the generators the value of a good life. The generative process generates the 7-year cycle. Okay, the 5 to the 15, and that third gate, which you guys are going to get in the biology piece. That's the human cell and the mutation of that flow. Everything is generated in 7-year cycles. That is why if you are with a really good professional, they've been in their practice for more than 7 years. That 7-year cycle is so important because it is cellular. So in the human design terminology, we, surrender to your design. Meditation, take a break, take a breath. Get in touch with the natural rhythms of your breath. Relax. Nature, gardening. Nature has its own pattern. We know this. Like, how does a tree become a tree? It has its own natural pattern. Watch it, touch it. Be in awe of just a blade of grass. Just be in awe of it. Stop being compulsive, go back into the flow, and really that's what the shift is happening for us on our planet. 42 here, this is growth. Quit trying to be perfect. Selling trial and error. Perfection happens on the logical side. This is abstract. This is abstract energy. This is discovery. This is experiences. This is a trial and error process. So you get to sell trial and error. Just try it. Embrace those mistakes. Expansion of resources for full potential is expanded through the third line trial and error. Growth is non-existent without the trial and error process. Patterns lay the foundation. That's what logical does. And when the experiences move up and down on that pattern, that's where mistakes can happen so that we can then lay a new foundation. So that's what the trial and error process is doing. Always. The third line is the anarchist. Break it down. Logic sets out, that's what logic does. Logic, you go to an accountant and they'll give you business projections. You go to a council meeting, county council or city council meeting, and they'll give you projections. And then they'll say, okay, well, we need this many taxes. We need to extort our human beings on our planet for this many taxes to do this. There's always this projection field. There's a foundation there. And then trial and error comes along and says, guess what? That's a total mistake. That doesn't work. Or this does work. That doesn't work. This does work. Up and down pattern of it. Mistakes have an advantage as they discover versus theorize. We can theorize a lot of things. We can project into the future all day long. But what is actually happening in the moment? Totally different story. Growth happens in the moment. Growth happens in those trial and error expressions. So in this discovery process, things bump into you. When in the flow of the pattern, the correct experience presents itself. The generative process, again, like I said, it's a 7-year process. That's how we mature. So trial and error, you play around with courses, right? You bring people in and they get to have an experience. They might fall off those ropes for the first time that they do it. Then they try something different and hey, they stay on. These are simulators, building that better lemonade stand. Let's try it. Let's work on it. Let's have a trial and error process. Oh, that sign worked. Okay, well, that was an experience. Or that sign worked or didn't work and that was the experience. Experiment with your human design. Don't believe us. Go through the 7-year cycle. Go through that trial and error and see what happens. You get to sell that if you have this 42 hanging in an undefined sacral center. This is one of your sales places. Getting people to relax into the flow, getting people to relax into their experiences. 29, quit saying yes. I have this in a defined sacral center. This is my core essence. This is my sun. So selling in action. So if you have it in an undefined sacral center and this 29's hanging off there, this is selling in action. Because the 29 and the 46, it's that channel of discovery. It's about evaluation. You had the experience and now you get to evaluate it. That's what the 64 to the 47, that's what's happening there. This abstract process, everything is about assessment and evaluation when we look at the abstract process. So this is the mirror to the 5. And the 5 is selling quit being compulsive as the logical is jumping into things at the wrong time. Here it's very similar. Stop saying yes to everything and evaluate the discovery process. So this is where we can get nailed down and put into a cycle, and then we repeat that cycle, repeat that cycle, repeat that cycle, repeat that cycle, because we are saying yes too often. Instead of listening to our strategy and authority, hey, this is my sun. This isn't about me saying yes to everything. This is about me being able to be deeply, deeply connected to my strategy and authority and only saying yes when it is correct. Loving that process of evaluation. Dropping into those times where I can be inactive and just evaluate, hey, where am I at? What's going on? Hey, I'm here now. So as a binary, the making of commitments that come from the 29 can also be about not making commitments. Abstract is based on the past, and repeating the same experience to get a different result is futile on this side. Logic is designed to repeat, to perfect, but abstract is designed to experience and then get the t-shirt that says, been there, done that. Making money is about learning from mistakes, third line process in the logical stream. Here you are being theoretical, and there's no mistakes when we look at the logical stream. But on this side, it's totally different. Logic wants to lay out a formula. It wants to theorize. On this side, it's about that evaluation. Know when to quit. Know when to quit a product line. Know when to fire someone. Know when to quit the business. Forging through depletes the energy resource, and when there is no evaluation, there is no adaptation. So what can you do here for a business? This is about being a consultant, going in, looking at their past history. Saying, listen, let's just take a moment, quit forging through. Let's just take a moment and see, what do we need to adapt to? We need to evaluate where we are based off of our past so that we can move forward into the future. This is negotiating. This is investing, evaluating the markets. When's the best time to buy or sell? And most of the time, people are doing it completely backwards. Everybody jumps in on the stock market right now when it's high. Everybody's trying to jump in. Wrong timing. You want to jump in at the bottom of it so that you can come up and build your way through. That's what evaluation does. So as a projector, you get to see, you get to recognize this stuff. And now you're saying, well, geez, stock market, looking at business past behavior, those kind of things are, there's patterns probably there. Well, of course, because our foundation is patterns. And then you get to teach people how to move through that discovery process, that trial and error process, love it, evaluate it, make adjustments, adjust. That's what the third line's doing. The third gate is about order. This is quitting the old and starting something new. Now we're into the individual aspect of this. So this is survival. How can we survive? Well, guess what? Every business, And that's why this program is being built right now. I just walked through my 7 years. I did my first 7 years in one way. Now, the next 7 years, totally different. I'm completely revitalizing my business. I'm revitalizing my service. I'm revitalizing my products. Because it's a cellular process. Newness is the most attractive thing of all. So new is mutative and it can transform the world overnight. However, the new has to become ordinary. We saw this when we looked at the splenic side. We saw this when we looked at the solar plex. We saw this when we looked at the root. The new has to become ordinary because the tribe gets very, very scared of new things. But in order to sell to that tribe, I know we're talking individual here, but in order to sell to the tribe, to sell to that larger view, it has to become ordinary. We have to adopt it as truth. So as you have seen in the 28 and the 57, we need to join others, or we need others to join us in the fight to bring the new to the collective. So there has to be some kind of truth so that we can then bring it forward. What you're doing is you're selling things like inventions. You're selling fashion. You're selling, human design. It's brand new. We're selling new. How do we survive? By adapting. Maybe you are, you go into businesses and you help them revitalize their product. You help them revitalize their service. Maybe you help them revitalize their website, revitalize their SEO. That's what you get to do. That's what you get to sell so that they can survive. Power skills. Quit doing it for the money and sell being of service. So I have the 14 in the Undefined Sacral Center. And that, it's 14.3 and it's twice in my design. Service is what it is for me. It's not about the money, it's about being of service. That's how I deliver myself. I have to deliver service every single day of my life. So this carries the image and the root of the material way, and it's the symbolism of poverty to wealth is the wagon. The wagon can be full or it can be empty. It is the energy to fill up the wagon. So accumulation with grace and control. Ultimate serving of common good have extraordinary grace, the vision of sharing in the bounty on this planet and the resources they deserve. There's romance here. There's romance in the individual circuitry. So it's not to bring it to the direct material benefit. You bring it out of love. You have to be passionate about whatever you're doing. If you're serving and you're serving based off of frustration or anger or disappointment or bitterness, yuck, yuck. For me, where I live, I have walked into restaurants, I have walked into businesses, and those service people are coming from that very dense, yucky energy. And let me tell you, 90% of the time, I'm like, nope, can't do it. I gotta leave or request another service representative. I want somebody that has passion for their job because they're serving me my food. They're serving me a product that I require. I don't want that dense energy all over my stuff. Come from passion. So if you are a projector, a reflector, manifester with this hanging off of your sacral center, you get to hone in and coach people to their passion. So when you dedicate your wealth and your passion to something, when it is the love of it, that is when you get rewarded. I have a passion for these mechanics. I have a love for it. I'm watching it. I'm watching it happen in my life. I'm watching it happen in the world. I'm watching the global orchestrated directory, and I am just in love with it. And then I get to be of service. I get to deliver it through service. Again, being a YouTube creator or an inventor or, being someone who's in the human design world. It's big. This is big, 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 big. How to get people to tap into their passion is huge. And of course, it's going to start by knowing their mechanics. Because the conditioning has told them, well, this is your passion. And they're not passionate about it at all. They can put on a fake smile, pretend that they are, but it's not really happening. This is where you see in the movies, if you wanted to say that, where you see a mom and dad who, oh yeah, we're going to pay for you to be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And the child is like drudging through school and has no passion for it. And then all of a sudden they go home one day and they say, listen, I'm quitting and I'm becoming an actor. Because they have passion for that. That is what this is about. The 34, again, this personal power. Quit being selfish and using your power for the common good. So this is advocating for human rights. This is brand power. Having a strong brand, then all of a sudden the money or the resources accumulated, you can start a charity or a foundation or help other people, give scholarships, that kind of stuff. So power is only great when used for the common good. Integration is concerned about survival. Integration can give money-making a very bad name because it is selfish. So the very power to survive and busyness can only be of value when it is for the common good. So most of the time, if you have the 34 in your design, of course you're going to have a lot more different activations in your design as well. And for me, I do get caught up in being me. I do get very, very busy and selfish, and I'm in my little realm of creativity. But when I go out and I serve, and I use my power to serve, that's a totally different story. The common good gets to benefit from my frequency. And that's what this is about. As someone who you're learning this, you're walking through this, you're seeing how you can sell. This is really about people honing in on who they are and then serving from that place instead of listening to the conditioning field and forcing themselves into a box. 27, this is nourishment. Quit being irresponsible and sell being educated. So a new level of earning potential when you're educated. This is a part of the defense circuit. Making money through education, nourishing the capacity to earn. You want to know everything I know? It'll give you an advantage. So the education piece, educating piece, so that they have an advantage. The tribe is the only one that realizes that being smart is very important. The tribe is smart about making deals, about finding support, and the tribe nourishes. The children are educated. So educating is the lure, and that lure is greed. I can have more, I can have more, I can have more. If you see, that's the third line quality is greed. Now, we look at greed in a totally negative way on our planet. The 27, remember, because it's a part of the defense circuit, the 27 needs more resources. It has an obsession with having more because it's nourishing the tribe. It's nourishing the good. But it also the good. It's nourishing the people, the human beings that are created from the 59-6. Remember, that's the defense circuit. If we can educate, then those educated beings can help us get more food, get more water, get more shelter. So here's an example. good, bad, right, wrong. In countries like, or continents, I guess, Africa, where our governments and our institutions have been interfering with for so very long, which makes me very sad. But anyways, you'll see families that end up having 15 children. Because if they have more, if 5 out of those 15 die, they can still continue on with the bloodline, and they can still continue on with those 10 children accumulating resources for the tribe. It seems very counterintuitive. But if they only had 1 child and they got sick and died, all of a sudden the tribe cannot survive. And the level of education actually equals the amount of money that you're going to learn. So unfortunately, there's a ginormous amount of young girls in this world, and women in this world, that are they are not educated at all. The only thing they know is that they have to walk for water, and that they have to walk to go get fuel for fires, so firewood. And that's their whole life. Education can take a whole totally different turn for someone's life. And this isn't just about money, okay? This isn't just about money. This is about accumulating resources that benefit everybody. So this is not just about book smarts. This is also the experiences and the patterns, experimentation. This is street smarts, being educated, knowing how to survive, knowing that what you need, how greed is designed to work, not how we think it's designed to work. Now, we are focusing in on money here, but it isn't just about money. This is resources, period, and you get what you deserve when you're educated. So, this is colleges, university, trade schools, seminars, taking all the certification at the BG5 and human design schools. Education allows us to increase our service, and in that in turn, we also get to increase what we earn. Now, for me, I earn a lot of experiences that solidify and prove to me how the human design system works. Do I also earn money? Yes, I do. But that's not my focus. My focus is satisfaction. And I hope that your focus is satisfaction, or as a projector, success, or as an evaluator or a reflector, that it's surprise and awe. And as an innovator, manifester, I hope that your focus has been and will continue to be peace. Teaching people different things, educating them. The 59, this is about achieving union. Quit being distant. Selling personal connections. Now remember, now we're on the other side. We're pointed toward the solar plex. And the solar plex, this is about procreation. This is about production. This is about being open to those personal connections. There's this openness there. So the 59 is trying to break down barriers to achieve union. Remember, the 6 on the other side is that pH. So the whole point of a 59 is to say, listen, we need to have a personal connection here. In order for everybody to make money, everybody to have the proper resources, we need to have this, we need to do this together. So the 6 is saying, I need an allegiance. And the 59 is saying, okay, I'll stop being distant. Let's have a personal connection. Let's co-create and create something and produce something here. Must be physically to be involved with them. So the physicality here, this is tribe. They want to touch. They want to be able to demonstrate, you can demonstrate your products so that Others can touch it, see it. Ah, how's this going to benefit me? The tribe is so nervous about new things. It wants to have this intimacy. So instead of taking, or sending an email to your client, it's about taking them for lunch, going to their place of business, dropping off a snack platter. The allegiance and the personal connections that happen here, this creates worlds. This is our productive and reproductive energy. So tribal people do not want to buy unless they have touched the product and they've seen the demonstration, how it is going to benefit them. So this is a part of your design. So if you have the 59 hanging off an undefined sacral center, this is a place you can make money. That network marketer, those home parties, that product demonstrator, Costco does that really well. The QVC, the shopping channel, demonstrating products. So maybe your business is just soliciting people that sell on Amazon or have Shopify stores. Hey, let me produce videos for you that demonstrate your product. Let's, gather some testimonies here. Those are all personal connections. People want to know, how's this going to benefit me? So as we come to a close right here, you have this sacral undefined. Recognize this is a place where you can make money. Teaching the rest of the world, 70% of the population, this is a big money maker. Quit. Quit it. Quit, 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 quit. Stop doing this and do this. And you get to do that by honing in and being that really good guide, being that really good evaluator, being that really good initiator. I'm not saying that if you are a builder that you can't make money with all of these. It's really just how you're delivering your product. That's the difference. You're going to sell things in a different way. All right, friends. Now we're going to move to the ego and the heart center.